Welcome back. In the previous steps, we defined after, before, and around advices. We saw that we had to repeat the point cuts multiple number of times. You can see that the execution of this is present here, and also you can see that it's present in the other places as well. So 2, and we are having 3. And imagine a big project where these kind of point cuts repeat again and again. We don't really want to do that, right? So in this step, look at a best practice related to AOP, which is to have a separate file where you define all the point cuts. So how do we do that? That's what we will look at in this specific step. So I'm copying this specific expression which is present in here in the user access aspect, and I'm going to the aspect and saying I'm creating a new class. I'll call this common join point config, and over here I just create a simple method called at point cut. So I'm using an annotation called at point cut, putting the thing which we have copied earlier, and this one I'll want to call this public void data layer execution and an empty method. Now I can go ahead and import the point cut. That's it. It's so simple, right? What I did right now is we created a class called common join point config, where I created a data layer execution point cut. So it says execution of the data layer. So any execution in the data layer, you try and intercept. Now I'll do a right click, copy qualified name. I'll save this, and inside the user access aspect, instead of using this point cut, I'll use this. So I'm giving the path to the entire thing. So I'm giving the path to this method where this point cut is defined. So let's see if this works as usual. So we would want to check if the user access is checked on data layer. Let's see what happens. You can see that it's checking for the access and then allowing for the execution of the method. So this is working fine. That's cool. Now I can reuse. The great thing about this now is I can reuse this everywhere. So now I can use, wherever I'm using data layer execution, I can replace it with this. So over here we are using business. That's cool. After AOP, we are using business too. So now what I would do is I would define an aspect, common aspect for the business layer execution as well. So here I can say business layer execution, business, and I can copy this one right now. Right click, copy qualified name, and this is fine. The method execution calculation aspect, I can replace the aspect with this, and the after AOP aspect, I can also replace this with this, and the one below also is using business, so I can replace it with business point cut. We are defining the point cuts at just one place, I mean in one file. So all the point cuts for data layer, business layer, any other layers you have in here, you can define them in this common file, and that would help you in keeping all the point cuts at a single place. So now if I execute it, you would see that everything would execute properly without an exception at all. This executed fine, so it's all hunky and dory. In this step, we looked at one of the best practices in AOP. Have a common file for having all your point cut definitions. Until the next step, bye-bye.